Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Life Theories with Diana, Jay, and myself, Sarah. We are here with you chatting about all kinds of things, mental health, spiritual health related, and letting you know our theories about what's going on in the world and letting you know also what's going on with us. So we are going to get into how the shift on the planet is affecting us right now and really get into it. If you want to check out Diana on her channel, you can find her at Trailblazers of the Universe. Jay is at Journey of a Whitefeather, and I'm Small Sarah Big Soul. And we've usually got our friend Cortez here with us as well, but he is unavailable today. You can find him, though, at Spiritual Needs TV for all things spiritual health related. So what's going on today, guys? Jay?
I this new consciousness is really weird because you're coming into the things that you really want, and I think it's just bizarre that you won't put up with old rubbish. Like it does anything that does not balance in with your life, it just doesn't work. Like it's simple as that. For me, it's as simple as that. Like it's not working. Like you can feel it, whether it be a person's attitude, our new attitudes that take things to a different level, but things are moving into things that you really want. Like basically the universe is going, here's your life, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you've always wanted. And we go, yeah, okay, hang on a minute. I've just got to finish off what's happening in my old life, then I can move into it, if you know what I mean. So it's definitely some sort of ending. A lot of ends are coming, like endings sort of thing for me. Or not even endings, just conclusions. And, you know, I could see the horizons looking really good for where I want to go and what I've worked for the last 3-4 years. And it's becoming easier in that way. And it's a case of just balancing out and just saying, right, now this is where you've got to sort of get rid of all your baggage to take into the new life. That's simple as that.
That actually ties in, like what you were saying kind of ties in exactly something that happened to me last night. One of the things that I do is have my weekly meditations on Instagram Live. And when I log in, I always send my invites to people. I'll just invite whoever's in my list. And usually I try to keep it to people who have expressed interest in meditation and like expressed interest in this stuff. I just don't randomly send it to everybody because there's some people on my list that I know wouldn't be interested in it and would, probably have a lot of judgmental things to say about it, which is fine. I just don't invite them. But anybody who has expressed interest or talked to me about it, at least a little bit, I always send them invites. And my roommate does too. And what happened last night was my roommate got a very cold message back from a mutual friend of ours saying, if you guys don't stop sending me this shit, I'm going to delete both of you. And I was really taken aback by that. And to be honest with you, I was literally just going to do what I usually do and say nothing about it. But that's the old me. That's the old version of me that's like, oh, I don't like conflict. I'm not going to he doesn't want it. I just won't send it anymore. But instead, I was actually feeling really hurt by that comment because not only did he say, he could have easily just said, hey man, I'm not going to watch this. Can you stop sending it to me? But he went ahead and called it shit and then threatened to delete us both if we keep sending it to him. So rather than doing nothing, I wrote him a message and I was like, hey man, it's come to my attention that this was said. This is my livelihood. This is what I do now. If you think it's shit, that's totally fine, but you don't have to be rude about it. If you don't want to receive these invites anymore, all you have to do is ask and I will respectfully remove you from the list. But I think you should know that the way that you approached him about this really did hurt my feelings. And he writes back, yeah, please remove me. He doesn't acknowledge any of the hey man, we're friends. I just, I apologize for if this was spammy. I didn't realize he was sending you the invites too. I thought he was just inviting his other people in his hobby group. And like, I do apologize for the double send, but yeah, like he didn't even acknowledge any of that. He just said, yeah, please remove me. And it's like, okay. And like, this is somebody who like, I thought I was pretty good friends with. It's somebody who's, you know, helped me in the past and like, you know, been a good friend to me in the past. And I just found it to be really rude and like really cold, and like to go out of his way to approach it in the way that what I'm doing is shit and it's somehow offensive to him and he doesn't want to receive it so much that he's willing to delete me if he receives it again. It was like, what kind of frequency are you on that you can't even be polite about somebody sending you a guided meditation once a week? Like, I don't know. So I sent him that message and then I deleted him. It's like, you want to delete me and that's your energy, then I'm going to say what I have to say and then I'm going to delete you anyway, because it was still rude and it was still cold, and I would never approach a friend about what they're doing and call it shit and threaten to delete them because they're trying to share what they're doing with me. I would never do that. And I don't want friends that do. And I feel like I made a huge shift because I would have, the old me, like what you were saying, Jay, is like, you know, you're stepping into the new you, the new version of you. The old me would have just said nothing, pretended like it never got said, and then continued on this like, well, we're still friends and we're still gonna like be nice to each other when we see each other. Like, I'm not doing that anymore. Like, you're gonna be rude and offensive. And then when I call you out on it, you don't apologize or nothing. You just say, yeah, remove me. Like, okay, fine, I'm done. Like I'm done. Bye. Like, I don't even like have time for that anymore. So it's like, I've moved into that new version of myself where A, I don't stay quiet anymore. I speak my voice. And B, like, if you don't like it, push off. Like, that's fine. You don't have to be rude about it. And if you're going to be rude, like, I don't need that shit. I'm coming from a place of love. And if you don't want to do that, then push off.
I think like with, I've had people like that. And what I've changed is how I react to it, where I've just gone, do I really need this in my life? And do I need to make a statement on it? My response is more powerful when I don't say anything.
Yeah.
Like, and what I do is I don't let it affect me when it used to affect me. Like, I got a so-called mate of mine who go, you know, like, he just had he had a massive crack because I took the side of someone else. Apparently, get stuffed. I'm not taking no bloody sides. I mean, and I would have gone and done that. I got hurt by it. It's gone. Yeah, silence is golden, mate. But anyway, I'm not going to talk to you. I think it's time for Diana with the beautiful green nails. I love how you do this when you do green nails.
They're growing out. It's not gonna change color. I'm gonna go get it changed tomorrow. They're as long as they could. They actually have a cat eye thing. So she actually put. I didn't realize the one I chose. Cool. It's a cat eye, right? So she puts a magnet with it. I don't know if you can see. It's kind of hard to see, but like you see how there's a dark spot. It's actually a cat eye. Not a little cat eye for people that might think that, but that's what it's called. And they do it with a magnet, so it has that shimmery like. Anyway. But anyway.
Oh, that's cool.
A little bit of a darker note, you know, I've already told them, so there's no surprise here, but, you know, this is a trigger warning, so there is, you know, my mom, fortunately, is not with us anymore, you know, it was by choice, you know, as we talk about the shifts that are going on this planet, the frequencies are too much for people, more stuff is coming to the surface to be revealed, that means stuff that's hidden in the dark, right? Comes to light, and also things that are suppressed come to the surface to be released. And I just think she wasn't. Obviously there's a lot of factors that go into it. You know, why someone would choose to do that. It was health related, marriage related, right? Maybe a little bit family related. You know, she had some health problems and just wasn't happy. Depression, you know, it just got worse, and yeah. So pretty traumatic because you know I'm still living here, as I've said in my previous videos. So, I'm here with my brother and my dad. It's a little bit, traumatic. And, I have to go to a funeral next week. And, talk about shedding the old self. You know, I was at the point I was just like feeling pretty good about everything in my life. Just, you know, I was been about the YouTube. I got in a routine. I was starting to get healthier, work out more, right? I was even looking at buying a house, you know, and then soon, in the near future, I was actually finally looking into that. That's a huge step for me. And then it just, boom, this happened. And, like we talk about in some of our episodes, sometimes things test you before you go to the next level, right? Older things need to be released, lower density things, you know, and obviously that's our social choice, there's free will there, but we talk about karma, whether it's past lives or this life, and for some reason, she felt like it was her time to go. You know, obviously she wasn't as well. I knew it was bad, but there were some warning signs, but I didn't know who would think that would happen.
Hey, big fella, we're on, mate, so jump on. Sorry,
Cortez.
That was Cortez. Yeah, sorry, I just got him. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so how do you deal with that? You know, it's pretty, like, I had to clean up a lot of the stuff, so it's pretty intense. I have to accept that I've been through this before, not with my mom, but with friends and stuff. So it's part of the process. I'm allowing myself to feel emotions. I'm not suppressing it. I've been crying. I've been angry. I've been just cool. I almost pretend like it doesn't happen sometimes, but I am gonna have to face it. Once again, it's gonna come when I have to go see her when the service happens. So I'm just trying to deal with as much as I can, but I'm doubling up on my self-care. I'm working out more. Like, I did go out in nature today. I'm not stopping what I'm doing. I take breaks. I'm obviously not overwhelming myself. I have been going to work. I'm trying to get back in a routine, but not suppress. It's like balancing, like, not suppressing your emotions, feeling it, but also not dwelling it. I'm not gonna sit around and be depressed all day and not live my life at all. You know, the person has moved on already, right? But there's a grieving process. It's tough, man. But I'm just trying to handle it the best I can. You know, everyone has a time to go. We all have a time to go. It's unfortunate that happened, but I believe there's a higher purpose and all that. You know.
They always say like that. There's a meaning. Everyone has a purpose and meaning, and then there's also lessons and everything that, with regards, you know, that situation, which I'll say that situation, but I'm not sure how it's going to be said. But everyone has that purpose. It's like a guy. I'll give you a good example of a guy down here. He's a footballer, AFL footballer. He ended up with motor neuron disease, and everyone said poor me type thing. And he's actually gone out and built a foundation to find a cure for motor neuron. It's you know, they're selling beanies at the footy. Everyone's doing the it's basically middle winter for us, which is about 5 degrees Fahrenheit over whatever it is. I don't know what the conversion is, but they do it where the celebrities go down this slide into the ice, the ice challenge, but it's getting awareness into that. So it's funny that he did all this. He was a coach, he was a player, but his main purpose is now that he's got this disease. This is where his purpose is. It's amazing if you do all these things through your life, but you find your main purpose when something really does happen. I think, you know, they're looking at how we've come together, and we've gone through what we've gone through with our spiritual awakenings. It's brought us together. I think this is part of our full purpose. You know, I don't think all of us have found our full purpose, our actual defining purpose. But I think for me, I'm with going back to Russell Brand, where he says everything comes down to one word. It's about giving happiness for me. Our caring side of things, we have to care for ourselves, but also now we're looking to care for others and make people happy. So all the things that I do that I love, I bring happiness to people. So whether happiness and I guess better health in that way, mental health and spiritual health and all those kind of things. Even though I'm having fun, I radiate that energy to other people so they're having fun. So it gives me incentive to be better. That's just my theory on it.
I know mine is definitely to inspire people. I mean, I know I didn't go through addiction and just what I went through now and everything like that, all the negative experiences. I've been pretty dark. I mean, I don't know how much dark we're gonna go down that rabbit hole, but I just know it's meant to inspire people. It doesn't mean it's just YouTube. There's a million different ways. It could be just me posting a damn meme, motivating people, helping people get through dark times, whether it's through video, whether it's on a damn Instagram reel, whether it's TikTok, whether it's podcast. Maybe I want to get into public speaking eventually. I would like to get there eventually. But I know it's definitely inspiring people and raising the frequency of the planet. I know that much. And I'm just going to go with, I don't need to have a super defined, because I believe we're multidimensional. We have multiple purposes, but it can all be tied down. It's all related to that somehow, That's that's my perspective on it, at least. And we're alchemists, right? It's being an alchemist. I made a video on that before about transmuting the energy. Even the energy from this crazy shit, I'm kind of using it. I'm feeling, but I allow myself to feel. When you suppress it, you can't use energy when you suppress it, right? So I'm kind of using it now. I got more shit to say in my videos. I want to help people with mental health issues. Now I was like, man, I think my focus needs to be a little bit more, because a lot of people are struggling with that, and I struggle with myself. I kind of went the more spiritual route, but I can still do that manifestation. I can still, everything's tied in together, but I want to make sure I definitely put some energy towards that, because I think I have, I think I can help a lot of people with that.
Yeah,
it's funny that you. Sorry, go. Sorry, Sarah.
Okay.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I was gonna say, so my roommate and I had just had a talk about that. It was like he's interested in getting into different traditional yogic practices and Ayurvedic practices, and he's trying to open up a clinic, but he was trying to figure out, and he's been talking to me about it too, because he knows that what I do with my spiritual healing isn't the norm. It's not something that can really be defined. It's not something that people fully understand. So it's about finding something that's on the cusp of what we do, that can also bridge the gap to people who have no idea what we're talking about when we get really into the deep spiritual stuff. So he was saying, with the Ayurvedic thing, it's there's a lot of depth to it that he can get into, but he was thinking about starting with a basic yoga clinic. And then once he gets people in the door for that, then he can start bridging in, I also incorporate this, and this. And I was thinking about doing the same thing and getting certified as a breathwork coach and doing breathwork stuff. And that way it's a good way to get people's foot in the door and help open their eyes up to all these different things with something that is familiar and less scary. So it's with you, what you said, not everybody's ready to explore the 3D consciousness and all the consciousness stuff, right? Not everybody's ready to explore the spirituality, but everybody deals with mental health issues in some way or another. Yeah. That's a way to get people
everybody,
looking
and
at
that's
you.
Relating everybody. It's not just one, because even people that are saying we're spiritual, we all have emotions, we're human beings, and we are not taught coping mechanisms, and that's what happened with her. She was not, I'm not blaming anybody, but it's the truth. With that, we're go to school, we're given more stress, but I have no idea to have coping. You have to seek it out on your own to figure out coping. I've been going to therapy since I was in high school. I've had mental health issues. I've been on different medication. I'm finally off all medications and much better. And they didn't want me to go. They wanted me to stay on it forever. I basically said, go F yourself. No. And I said, I'm going off myself. I'll wean off myself. I don't need you. You guys misdiagnosed me anyway. And I thought I was bipolar this whole time. And I was pretty much an addict, taking intense substances that alter my brain chemistry, because now the therapist I have, she's cool, but she says, well, I don't think you're bipolar anymore. I think you have an uncategorized mood disorder. I was like, I feel pretty stable. I don't think and I just been through a lot of kind of traumatic. She's cool. Out of all of them, she's cool. I like her. She's a little younger, but I was like, I don't even think I have a mood disorder. I'm a female that has hormones, and we rolled through a bunch of crazy experiences on this planet, all of us.
Suffer from enough trauma.
Uncategorized. So if it's uncategorized, then it's not a disorder. You can't even define it. What the fuck? I'm sorry. I'm just sick of this,
You're just a normal human being who's dealt with trauma, is what that is. Yeah. And they want to put a label on that. It's no, everybody processes trauma differently.
I don't like labels, because I'm a multidimensional being, and I don't like when people try to, that's fitting you into a category. I don't like being defined as anything. And that's why you won't see me say, sometimes with NA and stuff, right? They want you to keep saying I'm an addict. And it's funny, look, I'm not knocking anyway. It does help people, but for me, I did do it for a while, get help, right? But what do you keep saying when you go in there, right? I'm affirming I'm an addict. And I felt like I was, and I was around people that...
You can't break free from that if you're constantly
I got better when I finally
stopped
was when I did good rehab and stuff, but I didn't even go to, when I stopped going to meetings, I was like, I actually feel better. I just focused my energy elsewhere, and I just became a different person. I started the YouTube, some other stuff, and I just defined myself differently, and I stopped saying I'm an addict. I don't care. Yes, I was one. Yeah, I'm not saying, but I don't care what anyone says. I'm not one. I don't care. Like, and it's not even just about substances, about the behaviors, all that stuff, about your thoughts, but I was like, dude, I'm not repeating that. And every time you raise your hand, you have to say I'm an addict. I was like, I'm not saying that shit, man.
Every time, dude. Like,
you're supposed to. It's all, you know about the 12 steps. You know, there's a whole.
Yeah.
I got a little bit into that, but I didn't really. It does help people. I'm not saying downing. It does help people, but for me, with what I just didn't like it, man.
It helped people too. My biggest thing with NA that used to bother the crap out of me was they always say you're powerless, you're powerless, you're powerless.
Then you feel powerless. You're affirming that.
You can't get people to continually say how powerless they are, because they're just going to go back into drugs. You feel powerless, you're going to become an addict. So if you keep saying I'm powerless, I can't help myself, I have to turn to God or to something else, it's like you're giving your power away.
Yeah.
Have a look what you guys are saying.
People who suffer from addiction already do. They give their power away to the drugs, and now you want to give the power away to get off the drugs? Like, it's an oxymoron.
It's also like to your higher power, or it's like to the actual group. But then, hey, but it is good to have, like, look, if you're someone that's really struggling, and it was nice for me at first when I didn't realize that I am more powerful, right? To have a support group. You have a group of people you can talk to, because a lot of them don't have people to talk to. They don't have good support systems. They're in toxic family situations, relationships, and they can't get out, right? So but they're all together as a group, but they're all defining themselves as that, and that can help. It depends on your situation, but I eventually realized, just for me personally, it was actually towards the end, once I did get better and I felt better and I took time away from it, and I felt like I'm in control. I did feel like I just directed my energy elsewhere, and I stopped saying I'm an addict, and I stopped saying, once I stopped saying I'm bipolar and I'm an addict, I actually felt I didn't even feel like that anymore. It's crazy. You literally speak your shit into existence. You speak your reality into existence.
I was going to say to that, well, both of you said that, and look, I'm coming from having a sugar and food addiction when I was younger, like fast food. It's not drugs, but fast food. Well, it's shit.
I was a sugar addict too. That was one of my. That was actually my biggest thing. I had problems with drugs too in the past, but not super bad. I was more a sugar addict than anything.
But we're missing something in our life, and if you go to these places, which is fine. I mean, I had a good therapist too. He was great. But you go to these people who reinforce, you've come for help, but we're going to still take your power, if you get where I'm going, because you don't realise your power, but what you've got, because you don't, you're at that level, you're at that lower level where you're vulnerable, you don't have a clue what's going on, let's be honest. And then, because we're not taught to cope in that, not taught with the coping mechanisms with that, we're taught to go and see someone, which is fine, but still, like, what we've done is taken control of our lives and met people that have done that. So there's a different level of going to perfect example is this bloke I used to know, had issues and all that stuff, which is cool, accepted him for what it was. He used to go and do all these, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Okay, what are you doing outside of that? That's the first thing I said. Nothing. Not eating well, not exercising, and then use the excuse, I've got a problem. Well, why the hell are you going to these bloody places if you're trying to I'm trying to fix myself? Yeah, okay, that's fine. But doesn't it say that you've got to take your power back in some way and try and ride the bike? You're going to fall off, but you've got to have people that bring you up. You got to, I mean, we all did it. I did it. I mean, I held back. I stayed in my bloody cell for years. So, I mean, I see where you're going. There you go.
Yeah. It's interesting the way that rehab facilities and places like that, like NA and AA, they do things that it's like we're trying to empower you by doing things that take your power away in a weird subconscious way, and it's like they do help people. I've experienced a lot of people that have had a lot of help from these things.
It doesn't quite hit. Every time I went in there, like, I felt lower vibration. I'm around people. I'm already an empath, so then I'm absorbing all there, and then it's me, and then I just feel like in a lower, it was nice to have a group of people when I didn't have anybody else to talk to about it, so it is good for that. But some of the steps, I mean, a lot of it is about, like, surrender. I mean, there's different principles and stuff. And I do understand it, and I can see how it works for some people, but it doesn't really. I got better when I kind of just figured out look, I always do things alternative ways. I never do things, and the holistic rehab was a little bit different. That was, we weren't, we did have some meetings and stuff. We had to go to there, but they tried a lot of different methods, and they focused on the physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. So they integrate all that stuff, even exercise, right? Even certain diet, right? When I went there first, couldn't have sugar for a month, couldn't have coffee for a month, and I was like coming off, so oh my god, I was fucking miserable.
Oh man.
And no phone, like, we didn't have a phone.
So
I mean,
harsh.
we can only have it on the weekends. Like, everything is like, I mean, there were guys and girls there, so it was cool. Some people, whatever.
Yeah.
But imagine, but it was just like, dude, you just like, and then we couldn't.
That's
But it was kind of cool. It was like a country house, but then there was a facility too. We went through during the weekdays, and then we did have activities during the weekend. But it did balance. It did teach. I learned coping mechanisms. I mean, it saved my life, but it wasn't just, that was a part of it. Okay, we did some meetings, but we did like the holistic thing, and that's what worked. It's like the whole thing,
Yeah.
It just comes out where
intense.
4 months, man. I was there 4 months. I actually got it for free because I don't know. I got lucky. I didn't have insurance at the time because I lost a job at the time. But I got it for free lived there for 4 months. I didn't pay a dime. That's like divine timing. The way I got it, I had to wait for like
amazing.
a month. I was at my parents' house, miserable, wanting to not be here anymore. And just fucking miserable, like really bad. Almost felt like my mom. Like I kind of, I did, whatever. But yeah, dude, but it was worth it. But that was like divine timing. Opened up, like the odds of me getting in there, it was like for free. I was there 2 months, and then they extended me 2 more months because I was doing well there and stuff. And I actually did, even in our therapy session stuff, in our group classes, I would talk about intellectual stuff, kind of like I talk about with you guys. So everyone would sit there, I'd be like, oh, cool. And then I was like, I kind of like doing this. And they had me teach a meditation class one time because I was into it.
Cool.
And they're like, how do you sit still? You're the most hyper. They're like, because I was actually able to sit still only in meditation, because I did Aaron Dowdy, I started that 2017. It took me years to be able to sit still, but they said, how are you so hyper and you're able to sit still? Because it just shows with meditation, they're like, your body's completely still, because I'm usually moving around, like, talking and stuff. But,
vibrating.
Yeah, but you can imagine me coming off, so, like, that's like I'm hyper now, but it's more like grounded hyper. That was like all like, blah, blah, blah.
Static hyper.
That was a nutcase, yeah. I still am.
I was just gonna say, yeah. Well, it's awesome. You saw me.
You have no idea, man. You don't even know. It was really bad.
I need you on stage with me because the joke is now they're gonna put a chain on me. They're gonna put a bloody dog chain on me. This is the joke. They go, because you're bloody crazy. We're gonna play the gimmick where we'll bring you out on stage and let you off the leash. It's an actual total gimmick.
That's great. I love it.
It's a total gimmick because you go. It's my mate of mine. It's funny. It's funny what was said about, I've known this guy for about 7 years. He came and watched me perform. He goes, he goes to me, I could not believe your performance. I go, what do you mean? He goes, I knew you were mad, but that was insane. I didn't know you had it in you. I go, I didn't know you had it in you. I go, what are you talking about, mate? I'm crazy. He goes, I know you're crazy, but I go, when we performed at the last school I was at, mate, I had a damn leash on me. I couldn't do what I wanted to do. You know that. You go, I'm at an overrated bar, obviously, a bar's overrated, I can let fly, so I'm swearing my head off because I'm allowed to because it's part of the band, I'm letting fly, and when I did the spot at the end, we won't say what the spot was because we might get done on the algorithm, but when I did the crowd spot, my mate, my partner in crime, he just said, he goes, you went into that place, man. You look so happy. I go, not in a bad way. You're not a vampire or anything, but you look like you found yourself. I go, yeah, man, it's grouse. And I was going to say, have a look at Charlie's Angels down here. See, laughing's good. Look at that, it's great. She looks like Cheryl Ladd. Oh, Steel Panther. How about Steel Panther?
I got my Steel Panther
shirt on. Unicorn.
I love this shirt, man. The Steel Panther.
I've got that too.
You've got this shirt too?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love.
Awesome.
I'll tell you a quick story about Steel Panther. I hung out with Lexi Fox.
There's a picture of me and my sister and Lexi on stage together.
I love that. That was pretty much the character I was playing in pro wrestling. So we had a good chat when I hung out. But I went to.
I love Lexi.
We had lots to talk about makeup and all this stuff and hair and everything. Anyway, what happened was they play that song 17 Girls in a Row. So, and they usually like to have females on stage. And my friend and I went because we're massive Panther fans.
That's the song Carolyn and I got on stage with, me and my sister.
So you got that. So what I said,
not like Satchel just grabbed my hand because I was standing right at the front. Yes. And I was like, he just grabbed me by the wrist. I was like, oh shit, I'm on stage now. That was great.
I actually grabbed it. We went to Luna Park. It's a big amusement park in Sydney, and we went with about 40 people, and we were up the front. I still remember that. was absolutely crazy. Anyway, so I said to her, she goes, I'm not getting on stage. Okay, you're kidding, are you? Anyway, so Michael Starr's going, who's coming up on stage? She looks at me, I go, right over the top. Literally threw her over the fence. I picked her up and pipped her over the fence.
That's awesome.
And she goes, that's the best thing you ever did. I go, how's those photos? She's on the stage taking photos with Lexi and all that. So I was going, this is what life's about, man. So they go, Steel Panther. Yes, Panther. I'm going to give it Panther.
Steel Panther. I love Steel Panther. They're great. So much fun.
Yeah, I know. Community property and everything. Anyway.
So far off topic, so far.
Well, it's sort of it, but that's why when I go up on stage, I'm developing these characters. I watched Blackie Lawless from Wasp, obviously. Hopefully that doesn't get done in the algorithm. Anyway, Blackie Lawless from Wasp, but then I bring out these other characters, these other traits in me, like Lexi Fox is huge for me. We have to get Diana to show. You have to show Diana Lexi.
Yeah, so we gotta show her. I love the mirror gimmick, like how he's always like looking in the mirror, like kissing. And
that's right. That was my old gimmick when I did pro wrestling. Me and my mate. That's how, because I had a manager. They thought we were living together. I'll leave it at that. We played the gimmick. Beautifully. They still think we're living together. That's how bad. That's how good the gimmick is. And we used to bring the mirror out. I used to have a hairstylist and everything. It was just and we used to have, and God rest his soul, he's upstairs watching us, probably laughing at me now. But we used to have the three of us. There was three of us in the end, and some of the shit we did, my God, we would get. I said to him, he goes, "We should bring the gimmick back at one of your shows." I go, mate, I'm bad enough as it, but we do some of the shit we used to do, mate. We'd be either fucking arrested. We'd get arrested. We'd be bloody put over the internet and then bloody blackbarred. And, blacklisted. Yeah, so, I mean...
It's amazing that, like, you're in this rock and roll band and you've got this whole, like, character persona thing that you do on stage. And you come and meet up with us every weekend and talk about spirituality.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. But, yeah, it's funny. I think... getting on that theory that makes me... I said, I was talking to Di the other day, and I was a little, not down, but I was tired. But as soon as I talked to her, we both said how much it picks us up, doesn't it? And it's amazing that how it all goes. And I guess at a point that we don't have to... that if people can accept us for what we are, we don't have to tell them... Not that you're keeping it from everyone, but I wouldn't go... Like some of the people I hang around in the band stuff, I wouldn't be going that I write that I do all this stuff. They don't need to know. You know what I mean? It's like it's not a case of being an ego. You have to tell everything. No, you just, they accept you for what you are. You're not doing anything, but it depends on the kind of person they are and where they are in your life. If you know what I mean. Like I can tell you guys everything, but there's some guys, some people just a little bit below because you don't know where they're. They might not believe in it, or they might. You still don't know. You know what I mean?
It just might not resonate, right? So
you just want to leave it.
You gotta pick your crowd.
Yeah, you leave it as it is, and that's their crowd. We talk music and all that stuff, but that's it. Yeah, so it's quite the funny thing. And I'm still looking at that pink mic. I reckon it's awesome. Look at that.
So
Look at so.
It was a little cute razor one. I saw it, and my brother was helping me get more equipment. He's like all technical, and I was like, I want that pink one, and of course it was like a special one that was hard to find. I was like, no, I don't want a black one. I want. I was like, I just want something that stands out more. I'm trying to bring out my feminine side more anyway. But I thought it was cute, and it has. It's really small actually, and because I had to take it off the stand, but it's a little. But I was putting a bunch of books up so it would be up here when I do life theories, but it didn't make it. So you have to have the arm Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Tools for the trade.
Moving up. Yeah.
Moving up. Yeah.
So you reckon that with this new life that we're going through, like I've got much less tolerance to a lot of the, I guess the past theories and stuff. I look at it going, and I sometimes I look at it and go, am I wasting my time? You know what I mean, with certain things. But there's always timing and destiny with stuff. But I think the universe is preparing us because we went through Lionsgate, which was hello
but
Lionsgate.
There's the Mercury retrograde coming up. I was like, cool. I mean, what else? What else you got?
When's that coming?
What else?
When's that coming?
I saw it again in somewhere in my Facebook or Instagram.
When's that coming?
I don't know. I don't have time for Mercury retrograde.
No.
Mercury retrograde.
I think
chill,
it's
man.
I think it's
don't got
coming
time
up
for
this
that.
week. I don't know when it starts.
Don't do that to me. Oh,
Yeah.
Apparently this one too is going to be like a really intense one. Like crazy stuff's going to happen in this one. I think it starts today. But
we always
Let me
look. We all.
yeah. Check it out,
great.
Diane.
I don't even want to know. For me, it's already been Mercury retrograde. It's been like crazy.
I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I'm doing this thing now where I'm switching my perspective rather than being like, oh no, I got another retrograde. It's like, what can I learn this time? What's going to present itself to me in this retrograde that I get to level up?
Bring it, man.
Like, I'm in this whole
always say
shift.
I say
like,
bring. I say bring it.
Developing more. It's bringing awareness. What else needs to be clear? What else? So actually, it says September 9th to October 1st.
Yeah, there you go.
So we got some time. We have a little bit of chill time.
Yeah, get a little.
Well, the thing is,
I don't call it chill time for me.
Have you noticed in retro?
Saturn in retrograde or something else?
Uranus or something or Neptune? I can't
Venus.
One of those bloody ones. Yeah.
There's something
But
in
if you-
retrograde right now, I
There's
think,
always
and then it
Saturn.
was going to go into the Venus, but or Mercury. Sorry.
Let's have a look. The look with Mercury retrograde, I might say that it's God, but I know I know. Look, it's just the case. I've got better with it. I know things are going to happen. I guess as a spiritual person, we feel this more because we have more times when we're more when we feel things a lot more over a period of time. If you know what I mean, like the normal person just goes, "Oh, I'm having a bad day," where we feel a deep-seated meaning of what's happening. I can see what's going. I can see what's happening here. But Mercury gets you to clear. I know. I go, rightio, bring it. Just give me time to process it. You know what I mean? God, I know what's going to happen here. I can see what I already know in my life what's going to happen. I can see. It all set up. I can see it. Rightio.
Are you projecting that, or is it the universe?
No. I can say I know it's going to happen. I already know. It's like this is my sixth senses. Look. If you read between the lines with a lot of things, you can say, "Oh, you're predicting shit and putting it into." You can say you bring stuff into your reality, but then you go look at it because where we're at in life, and I sort of go, I look at it as a lesson for me. I look at it as a lesson for me, so I can see.
What's up, Diana?
What's your Facebook message? You for sure. I saw another Leo.
Sorry,
thing.
I don't mean to interrupt you, Jay.
Oh, sorry.
No, not at all.
It just came up and I couldn't help it. So yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, that was.
Yeah, man.
Okay, sorry, Jay. I didn't mean
No,
to
not
interrupt
at
you
all.
there.
No,
You
no,
were on a
it's-
roll.
I couldn't help it, man. Sorry.
No.
Diana's laughter was like, I'm picking up something there. I gotta check in on that.
No,
Sorry.
not a problem. No,
send it
not
to the
at
group.
all. No, not at all. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna look at this. Let's have a look.
I sent it to the group. All the Leo memes are funny, man. He's funny, dude.
Me and Diana love this fucking.
You go for Leo, I go for the Joker.
Dude, Leo. Okay, listen. I've been having dreams about Leo the past couple
That's a
months.
good thing. You might marry him one day.
Because of these memes, because I laugh so much, and dude, I've literally had dreams about Leo, man, in my dream. I used to have a crush on him when I was younger. Well, I guess that's so kind
I'm waiting for the time Diana comes and goes, "So welcome to life." I've got a date with Leo DiCaprio. I go, "Oh really? She's manifested."
Manifested, man. he's with some like model, whatever. He's been in a relationship with some young model for a while. I mean, I like when he was like in Titanic days, man. Like, and
when a random girl from
beach.
Virginia gets a date with you.
Yeah, and hey, maybe I'll get big on YouTube and he'll watch my videos, break up with his young girlfriend, and it's on. And then I have memes for life, dude. I got meme then. I'm the meme maker after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like those ones.
Dude, his face is funny. No, that one about him under the actual bed sheets, sharing meme, dude. That shit was hilarious.
Between that one, I go for the Joker
Limp
ones.
Bizkit. Oh wait, I'm gonna send you a bunch just for laughter because me and Sarah have been talking about laughing.
Please
Dude, that shit, I burst out. I've been at work and literally burst out laughing, and everyone's like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" But
you know what I watched? I have to have a laugh because there's this group here in Melbourne, the Laughing Group, a laughing company. They actually get up on the stage and they say that laughter is the best form of healing.
Yep.
They're not wrong. They sit there and they laugh. But this is why I watch stuff like that. Like, remember that one I sent you? That guy who was at the rave concert. He was doing the emu dance or the ostrich dance, and he had his head. Oh my god! I was watching. My daughter's going, "Dad, stop watching this thing." I was crying. Absolutely, I was crying. Right? I was sitting to all my mates, and then one guy, he rang me up and goes, "How you going?" I go, "Mate, I've got a box of tissues, crying because this guy just like, I mean, random stuff like that, you know." But I can't remember where I was going with what I was saying before, but I think it was basically Mercury retrograde is the father figure, and if bloody Uranus and bloody Neptune are involved, that's great, lovely. If it had been Pluto, it would have been worse, but I say it in a way where it's, oh God, please, okay, right, what are you going to do to me this time? But I know it's for the better good. And as I said, I have this sixth sense of knowing stuff. Like I can see what's going on, and I know exactly what the situation I'm going to be in. I know, I 100%. I already know what's going on. It was set up a couple of days ago. I know exactly what, and it's proving to me. This is to say, my lesson is what I value. What do I value? What do I want? Do I put myself first instead of others? Or I can already tell you that's what happened. So I'll give you an update. And
let us know.
Week. I'll let you know next week when it happens.
Yeah, man. Good stuff.
Anyway,
yeah, man. There's so many things shifting. Like, it's just insane, actually. Like, right now, did I tell you guys last week my storage locker got broken into?
Yeah.
So apparently they're actually they're going to be investigating that, because the idiots decided to use a stolen vehicle to remove all the stolen stuff off the property, and it was caught on camera. So, they're going to be investigating now. And apparently over 20 units in our facility got hit, and it was like they got off with like almost like $500,000 worth of people's stuff. Like, it's hugely insane. This is like
a storage unit, storage place. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, my storage facility, like out in just past Vancouver, and no, man, it's not good. Like, so many things got taken, and like my roommate and I are the only people, I think, in the whole facility that were insured, because we were housing our business stuff in that facility. Everybody else that lost stuff wasn't insured, because here in Canada it's really difficult to get insurance companies to insure your collectibles and your private collections for any less than like $1,000 a month. So it's crazy out here. Like, if you have a private collection that you want to insure, like, good luck. And like, you have to be really rich to like make that happen. And so basically everybody that got robbed, except for me and my roommate in that facility, are like, they're not getting insurance back for it. But because of all this, like, we've been talking to the facility, and they're like, yeah, no, like, really sorry this happened. And they were trying to like do good by us, right? Because we've been with them for a long time. And we just decided, you know what, it's time to move on. And my roommate started looking for retail spaces. And now he's like about to sign a lease for a retail space. And like, so that's moving up.
So is that where your collectibles, Sarah?
Well, it's for like, he runs a hobby business, like selling Gundams and stuff, and like hobby tools and paints and like plastic model kits and all kinds of stuff like that. And he does pretty good. And he's just been running online for the last like 2 years since COVID hit and we lost the store we were in the beginning. And now it's just like, okay, sweet. We found this really awesome little location. The price is right. The location's perfect. Everything is falling into place really amazingly. There's an issue going on too with my landlord at that house, and they're thinking about selling the property because I guess his health is declining pretty rapidly, and in order to get disability for him, they need to sell the property that my roommate's living in right now. So or that, you know, I kind of live there half time. I'm going back there like in September. It's a complicated situation. But so there is a small chance that we might be purchasing the house that they're selling, like that he's living in right now full time. And so it's like, not only is he like that storage locker thing that like, it basically was like, oh, this is shit. It turned into, now we've got an opportunity to have a really affordable, really amazing retail space. And there's a small chance that like I might be a property owner soon. And I never thought that would be anything like anywhere near possible. But there's just like, there's a whole bunch of other like little opportunities that are like interwoven that are making that happen. But for a good day or two, I was like, oh man, everything's falling apart. Maybe I'm on the wrong frequency. I don't know what happened to my life. Like, why is all this stuff crumbling down around me? And then from the things crumbling down around me, it was like opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. And it's like, oh man, I got to stop jumping the gun on this is awful and just wait to see what the opportunities come out of it afterwards. Because like, I could have been sitting in that like, oh, this is awful for a really long time. But I just kept getting hit. So it was like, I don't know what's going on with the shift on this planet, but it's like everything that's not supposed to be anymore seems to be crumbling. It seems to be shifting and changing.
Perfectly said. It's that's pretty much, and I think it's coming into where we're moving. We've gone through this shift the last couple of years, but that's perfectly said. I think that it's crumbling or we're not resonating with it. And with this retrograde coming up, it's going to be one of the bigger tests. Well, it's a big test anyway because we just had that super moon.
This Aquarius retrograde, because of that super moon and because of the Lion's Gate, there was this Mercury retrograde is supposed to be one of the most intense we've had in over a decade. So get ready for that. Be aware of the lessons that are being presented to you, because Mercury retrograde is there to help put in your face the things that you need healing from, the things that you need to step up from.
Always,
it's not just oh my god, everything's falling apart. If you use the retrograde like to your benefit and everything that's like shit that's falling apart, the things that are falling apart are things you need to really look at. They're things you need to heal from. They're things that you need to shift out of and change your behaviors from. So if you're, say, getting in a fight with your spouse or your best friend, and it's like you always, every time you get in a fight with your spouse or your best friend, you respond in the same way. And say you're the kind of person that like you just storm off and slam the door. This retrograde, if you have a fight with your spouse, it's your time to shift your patterns, shift the way that you do things, shift your behaviors, because that fight is not just there to be another fight. That fight is there to give you an opportunity to change your behavior, to sit down with your mate or your partner and be like, instead of running away and hiding from my feelings and what I'm feeling right now, I'm going to sit and talk to you calmly about it. You know what I mean? So it's just shifting your perspective and being like, wait, I've been in this cycle before. This is the behavior I usually do in this cycle. What can I do in this moment right now to shift it and change my behavior, change the pattern. Now these things that are coming up that are repeating cycles, they come up during retrograde so that you can shift it. You need to open up your awareness during a retrograde, because if you don't, you get shoved even further into those cycles you're trying to break free from.
I think what you guys, you're right about this. And then when you're looking at that, at the situations that always come up, I think now that we're in a higher consciousness as well, or we're in a different consciousness, so we're going to react differently, even though the situation is the same. This is making clear what's happened to me in the last two days. Right now, I've basically looked at it this way, looked at it a certain way, which has changed my path in a way. I've definitely changed it, but then we have to look at it then I've had to sort of say, when you go back, a Russell Brand again comes down to one word or something about you or someone said. So what is the total lesson here for me? And I can see what's going to happen. I know what I've got to do. Now the lesson, I know, and the end lesson from all this is I have to actually do something that I never usually do.
Exactly.
So I know, and it's going to be bloody uncomfortable.
But it usually is, but once you break free, once you get through the uncomfortable part and you've broken through that, you realize, holy shit, I've made it to the other side. And it's great. It feels amazing.
It's great that you got to, they put the test in front of you, and it's okay. Look, the good thing is in life as well that you've got people that you can actually be yourself with, and be as you are, and express the way you're feeling at the time without them judging and thinking you're changing.
Yeah.
Just giving you an honest opinion, then you look at it and go, okay. And that's where I'm at. So the discussions have to be done during and of course that's the way through retrograde, but that's the way it is. So
hey man, if you can have the conversations and start doing the shift before retrograde happens, you're already well on your way. And when it does happen, you'll be in the swing of it, and you'll just be like, boom, boom, boom. Your awareness is going to be so up on all the things. It's like, that's a cycle, going to do this differently. That's a cycle, going to do this differently. That's a behavior pattern, going to shift that. And just being aware of yourself, being aware of your behaviors and actions, and how you respond and react to things, and making a shift where it's needed, when it's needed, doing something different. It's all about seeing what you're doing and doing something different if it needs to be upgraded.
Retrograde is every retrograde I've gone through, and I've gone, shit. I guess at a point where I don't want to say that it's. I guess you're just sick of the feeling, and that's all it is. You know, it's for your better good, and I've had a better attitude towards it. I just go, fuck, here we go again. But on the offset, it's like a big release. It's like doing a big fart or something like that. You got wind pains, you let one rip. There we go.
There you go. It's uncomfortable at first.
But it was like with me. I mean, going through my addiction stuff, that was uncomfortable. It was. I mean, that was my coping mechanism for anything. And I had the mental, the physical, feeling like shit would draw. But when I got, yes, you go through the uncomfortable feeling, but was that worth all this? How much my life changed, how I improved my life in all areas, even that's on my YouTube channel. So yes, it was worth it, but you just gotta push through the uncomfortable, keep pushing, and there's different layers to it. Like you reach one level, like right now, right? I'm on another level too. This is uncomfortable, but I'm kind of, because I've done shadow, once you've done a lot of shadow work already, and especially when you've had dark nights of the soul already, the Mercury retrograde's not as bad because you're already kind of accustomed to looking at your shadow. You kind of know, you have an idea what to expect. We're conscious people. We have an idea what, I like, no one's completely healed. You wouldn't be on this earth if you were completely healed, right? Probably not, right? Or, we wouldn't be or we would have been propelled. There's levels, and your soul is always in a constant evolution, no matter what dimension or whatever you're in. So it's like, you have an idea, we're aware of it, and the biggest way to tell is, what the hell triggers you? That's where your answers usually lie. What's bothering you? What's blocking you from moving forward? What do you keep getting stuck in, or what triggered by, what I mean? There's usually a pattern. Energy has patterns, right? So this is just like breaking the energy pattern. Right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly.
Creating a new pattern, and you have to keep pushing, because then the old shit's gonna come back again. Like, hey, this vibration was very strong of this reality, so it's not just making one choice. It's keep on showing up as that version. The way you're thinking, feeling, acting. I mean, so it's like it's continuous. It's not just I made this one good choice one time. No, me. What happened to me when I was coming through addiction? I didn't use today. No, it's like. I gotta keep not using it. It's like, oh great, I passed. Hey, great. I give myself credit. That's great. But I gotta keep doing this. And even improving mental health, improving your life, right? Even with YouTube. But it's not. I made one video. We're done. It's like I gotta keep showing up and inspiring people. You know, it's like whatever it is you're trying to do.
Well, it's the same. The cycles of the universe, right? Like the universe will keep showing you what needs to be worked on repetitively
like,
until you get it right.
Here. Like
here, do it.
It gets bigger when you turn away. Yeah.
Exactly. You can't just do it once. Yeah. You can't just do it once and be like, victory. Okay, I did that. Now I can go back to my old shitty ways. No, you have to keep it up. You have to keep it up, because if you don't, the universe will keep putting that situation back in your face until you get it. And if you're one of those people that's constantly stuck in a loop of despair, shitty things happening, always getting in the same fight with your spouse, always doing this, that's time for you to really look at that situation that's constantly replaying and seeing where your responsibility lies in that continuing and what you can do differently to make that stop, and then continue to do that different thing instead of what you're already doing to break the cycle and get that timeline to shift. Because if you don't, you'll just be stuck in that loop forever. And the lesson that the universe is trying to get forth to you is going over your head. So if you notice you're stuck in a cycle and things are repeating, really take the time to look at yourself. Really take your time to look at where your responsibilities lie in that situation and what you can do to level that shit up and make it stop. Because usually it lies in our responsibility. We have to take responsibility for everything that happens in our lives, everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can't just be like, oh, it's retrograde's fault. My life is shit because the retrograde.
No, not at all.
The retrograde is just showing you things you need to work on.
It's a reflection of what's still unresolved. And I think a big part of it is also
mirror.
And also acceptance is a big part of it. If you can just stop trying to be this perfect version, or sometimes people beat themselves up. They're like, oh man, this came up again. I thought I worked on this shit. I know I was going through that, but I just accept. I was like, you know what? I am where I'm at, and I've made progress. This is just another layer. It's like an onion. There's layers. It's not just you're done. There's deeper layers to the issues that you resolve because there's more energy. There's more unresolved. I
recently started getting excited when I notice a pattern coming up again, because it's like, okay, that means I'm that much closer to like, okay, this is coming up again. What did I do last time? And like before, I would just be like, oh, fuck this shit, and I would get upset, and I would just do the same thing and blame and scapegoat everything around me. Oh, it's his fault. Oh, it's her fault. Oh, it's because of that. And I wouldn't take responsibility for my portion in it. But until I started taking responsibility, I would just get mad at these cycles. But now I get excited every time it's like, oh, this thing again. Okay, now what can I learn from this? What did I miss last time? And I almost look at it like a mental health, spiritual awakening, like treasure hunt. Like, what is it that I missed last time that I can change this time? Because if this is kind of like, it's only been the last couple of weeks that my mind has started shifting into this perspective, but it's helped me so much. Now, every time a cycle repeats, it's like, fuck yeah, it's like a treasure hunt. Like, oh, there's that cycle again. How can I dig into it even further to figure out what I can do or where I can hold my responsibility to make that change or incite change in this situation? So it's like instead of getting discouraged, like, oh, my life is shit, this cycle again. Oh, he's yelling at me again. Oh, this is happening again. Oh, like, all these things keep piling up. Like, I'm just like, wow, this is happening again. Okay, like, what can I fix in myself? What can I look at within myself? What can I shift within myself to get me to that next level and hopefully make this cycle end? You know what I mean? So it's like getting excited about it is like, rather than being like, oh, fuck this, like my life is just shit. It's like getting excited about how you can grow. It's an opportunity
to finally clear it and to grow and to move on to the next stage of your life. It's like, hey, this is what's holding you back. It's just awareness. You have to change your perspective. Yeah, I used to get pissed off too. I'm like, this again, but I changed it. I'm like, even what just happened with me, that's pretty crazy, but I saw that coming, but there's something there huge huge that, and it's not just me, it's my family. There's a lot of things that now have come up, and it sucks, but I see a light at the end of the tunnel. I see that this is gonna help with different like everybody, but yeah. So it's bringing more shit up. That's for sure.
That's another thing too. You had mentioned wanting to explore ancestral trauma. Yep. What better way to do that than
this is it?
Dealing with this.
I don't understand what else could this
it's
is
a blessing and a curse, right? Yeah. Yep. It might feel like it's awful, it's the end, but at the same time, there's a huge blessing in this.
To make changes. And why did that happen? Because something wasn't being handled correctly, something wasn't being expressed, and now it's opportunity for me to mend relationship with my whole family. I mean, pretty much just my dad at this point, but there's a lot of stuff there, and I did understand him more. I finally talked to him about things that were going on that, maybe I didn't know about, or there's still more shit I don't know about, but we're making progress. I'm opening up. I'm saying, hey, I want you to just talk to me, be honest. I'm getting in the resentment. I used to be resentful. Now I'm just trying to be open and compassionate, and understanding that he was probably a hurt person. Anything that I was offended by or triggered by wasn't really anything to do with me. I thought since I was a kid, inner child stuff, right? And then, so, and it's funny that this one girl I'm friends with on Facebook, she invited me to an inner child meditation. I was like, oh, here we go. This is coming up. I guess this is the remaining. I thought I got the inner child stuff, but there's
we're always doing inner child stuff. We're always
inner
doing
child, man.
No, man, you can't just sit your inner child. You gotta spend time with your inner child at least once a week, man. I'm supposed to be loving and giving it whatever it needed to get when you're.
I understand, but I thought we resolved this. I've done a bunch of I've done some inner work, but this is another level. This is like the last layer. I feel like this is the last.
Here's the thing about the inner child. Everybody thinks, you do the work, the inner child's gonna go away. No, the inner child is always there. The inner child is always gonna need nurturing. That is a part of you forever, because time is cyclical. Time doesn't go anywhere. We are living in the moment right now, but this moment is also past, present, future. We are living all timelines all at once. So your inner child is not going away. It doesn't matter how much you try to untraumatize it, how much time and love you give to it.
It can go in timeout for a little bit now, Joe.
Honestly, I check in with my inner child
I need to do that. I know.
Probably every 2 or 3 days. Yeah. Every 2 or 3 days, I check in with her. Hey, do you need anything? Is there anything I can help you with? Is there anything that would make your heart happy today? Whatever she comes back to me, I do it. Whether it's I'm going to go for a walk with the dog, I'm going to go sit and smell the flowers and watch the bees around the flowers, I'm going to color in my coloring book, I'm going to pet my cat. Whatever she wants to do, I honor that, because that's a part of me that wants that. But I'm in my own adult life not going to that, it's stupid, it's childish, it's a waste of my time. It is not. It is things that bring us joy, and our heart needs joy to flourish. So speak with your inner child, check in with her every couple of days. What do you need? Even if it's just envisioning giving her a hug, just imagine hugging her and then walk away. So sometimes that's all she needs, right? Or he needs. It's just, you got to check in, because no matter how much healing you do with your inner child, that's not going away. It's there. So
it's a case.
And then if you heal the hurt parts of your inner child, and then you just start ignoring it, they're like, oh, what, I'm not good anymore? I was just there to fix the damage, and now that I'm not damaged anymore, you're going to ignore me? That'll cause other trauma. So you can't do that either. You just have to check in.
It's a case of I think not even the inner child, but I know a big part of me was a couple of my big things was, even though everyone goes, oh, you're great on stage and shit, and being a teacher's being on stage as well, teaching people,
Well, you're standing in the front of an audience, basically.
You're giving your energy to someone. You're giving them something, whether it be a lesson, whether it be happiness, whatever. Right. So that's where I know my purpose is at. But coming from a young age where you're held back, told you shit, controlled, your self-esteem's being, here you go, you can have that, put that in the fucking box. You can't be this, you can't be that. And the big thing for me, when I played on Friday, was I knew there was a couple of songs that I'm going, fuck me. Okay, now I'm in front of people. If I fuck up, what are they going to think? I basically walked down going, oh, well, what the fuck happens? Shit happens. Still made it.
Most
Still
times
went back
people wouldn't even notice.
Well, yeah, no, this is
The only one that
that's
knows
right.
is you.
I've learned that. Exactly right. But it's exactly right. But it's a case of the lesson of actually going out there and doing something. Because we're trailblazers of the universe. Okay, I'll use Di's thing. That's what we do.
Everybody is,
But
man.
We're all
we all are. But
If you're creating a
we
different
all-
path in life and doing something different and just not being
Yeah.
fearless and just saying your own, not
Yeah.
necessarily going with the norm and just
That's right.
yeah.
We're doing all that. But then we actually learning our lessons. So, you know, I just went, I know we stuffed this one thing up, but I was gone, oh, well, what happens? Shit happens. Everything else went well. And the thing is with what we do is we had a big stuff up with the Wasp band, right? There was a big stuff up, right? I didn't give a shit. I'm not judgmental. But what I do is I went and they won't remember that because I did what I did on stage. So I basically said to me, mate, don't worry about it, mate. We've got it covered. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, mate, remember when you look at things, if you focus on that, that's fine. The drummer covered it. And then I covered it with my bullshit that I was doing. That's why I said to him, I go, I know where I went. There was a little bit of, I know I can do better playing and running around. But my main focus was to protect my mate, to make sure he was okay. And in that way, I did what I did. So I said to him, I go, what do they remember about it? And here I am teaching myself. I'm teaching my inner child. What did they remember? They go, remember you doing what you did. We won't repeat what I did. It wasn't bad, but it was part of the show. But they remember.
Now I'm so curious. I really want to know what happened.
What I did or what he did?
I just want to know what happened. You
Well,
don't have to, we can talk about it later. We can talk about it later if you want to.
Simple. He stuffed it. Mate, so simple. He missed the verse. Simple as that. He went to the wrong verse.
Oh.
He went to the wrong verse. We covered it, but then I said to him, I go, listen, this is what we do as a team. We get in there and go, okay, we're in front of people, and this is our care. I go, I jumped in. This is where the positivity of being a caring person. And where I'm at and go, I'm always looking out for other people, but now I'm looking after my close friends. Like if something happened to you guys, I'll be looking after you guys. And I said to him, go, what happened? They won't remember what happened in the second song. They're going to remember at the end because I did what I did. So he goes, yeah, that makes sense. So all we're going to do is go back to the rehearsal studio and make ourselves better. He goes, that's a lesson, simple as that. Now I'm teaching him, but I'm going to teach my inner child that. And myself that, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as you guys are working together, for the most part, the audience isn't going to notice. And if they notice, they're not going to say anything. They're having fun. They're enjoying the show. They're enjoying the performance. You might get, yeah, exactly. And you might get one guy that's like, did they miss the verse? Oh, whatever. That was a great show. You see that bassist like whiling out on stage? Like, that was crazy. Like, that kind of stuff makes up for it, right? So
that's exactly how it works. So it comes down like that. But yeah. But I think going back into the spiritual side, everything we do is spiritual for us. And as I said, like now this Mercury retrograde's come up, I know exactly where my lesson is. My lesson is to stand up for myself, and I can tell you that right now. That's what. Yeah. Stand up for myself. Be honest with where I got baited the other day. I got baited by the universe. Now, here's your bait. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? There's your bait. Now, this is an old school lesson. So it's a lesson. I knew it. I know it was coming. But at least I could be honest with myself and say how I was feeling when I did. I'm not going to give up and go I didn't run away and went with the ego. I actually stepped back and go, okay, I do enjoy, but where am I at? So you made a conscious decision when you step back. Because you flip-flop between decisions when you're at this level because you don't have a clear, decisive old decision. You've got a new awareness, but you're sort of coming into that new awareness, but you still got to make a logical decision, if you get where I'm going. Like you can't just, for me, even though I'm at this awareness and go, that is the right decision, there is still a process that you have to go through as a human being. You don't make rash decisions. That's just me. Regardless, you still have to think things through and not overthink it, just put it in place. I know we all do that well. So
it's always
that's
good to have
where
a plan.
Yeah, so I can tell you in the next few weeks when we do life theories that I'll go, you know that thing when I said about Mercury retrograde, it's happened and we dealt with it. It hasn't been dealt with yet, but it is coming up. But anyway.
It will come up.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, it's gonna come. It's good. Yeah. So, yeah. So, it's Cortez hasn't turned, so I don't know what's happened. He did answer the phone, but I think he's with his little one.
I want to get. I'm having trouble focusing now. I think I'm still kind of like processing.
No, I was gonna. That's why I was
space from the.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get my video out today, actually, too. So I want to make space in between.
Well,
yeah.
It's always great. Love you, girls. You know that, and thank you so much for your friendship and everything we do together. It's just I'm excited every time we come on board and chat. So
thank you.
And bless you.
Thanks.
And on that note, thank you very much for supporting Life Theories. I'm Jay from Australia. We're Journey of a Whitefeather, 50 chapters down. Might be a book apparently according to Cortez.
Mm-hmm.
I'm writing a book too. I got some book worthy stuff.
Here we go. Trailblazers of the Universe.
I have a book too.
Yeah.
I think we're all just writing books.
Yeah.
Hang on, we're all writing books. But you've got Trailblazers of the Universe with the lovely Diana in Virginia. She's doing wonderful work over there. And the lovely... hang on, that way. The lovely Sarah over in Canada. I think it's Vancouver somewhere.
Yep.
Sorry, I apologise for that. But you can get her on Small Sarah Big Soul on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Check us out on Life Theories on YouTube. What?
TikTok. I'm not on Facebook.
Oh, TikTok. Sorry, I don't do it. Sorry, I don't do TikTok.
It's all good.
Sorry,
it's all good.
Sorry,
it's all good.
I don't do TikTok. So, yeah, all social media platforms you can find us on. But if you just type in Life Theories, Journey of a Whitefeather, Trailblazers of the Universe, Small Sarah Big Soul, and also Spiritual Needs TV, we'll put them at the end of the video. And it's great to talk to you guys. Love you guys so much. And thank you for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Peace out. And off to the Kiss concert tonight to rock and roll and night party every day.
Sweet. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell button so you get notified when we make other videos. Check us out.
Fantastic. Take care, guys. Have a great day.
Bye.